What is up, traders? We have left Cambodia, now in Vietnam, here Ho Chi Minh City, and just chilling here in city center, looking at all the beautiful Vietnamese ladies walking by. Man, there's just so many. It feels like there's a 10 out of 10 that walks by me every 5 seconds. But yeah, what would I do different if I started day one trading? Day one trading, just starting to learn how to day trade. What would I do differently? And what are some tips that I could give you for beginner day traders? So first off, I would consume all the content that I can online about learning the Thinkorswim platform. I would be using the Thinkorswim platform, learning everything that I can about Thinkorswim. You know, it really cuts to the chase. You know, I'm not trying to try all these different platforms, seeing which one's the best. Consensus is Thinkorswim, Charles Schwab is the best for long traders. If you want to be a short trader, try something different than Thinkorswim. It's not going to be good for Thinkorswim's not good for going short. It just doesn't have enough locates for small cap stocks. So that's the first thing I would do, is like not just be fumbling around trying different platforms. Just if you do your research, you can clearly see that Thinkorswim is still the best platform out there. Free commissions, really good, intuitive, simple design of the platform, of the trading platform. So I will just consume all the tutorials online of how to figure that out, how to set everything up, the level 2 and all that stuff. I have content on that on YouTube. So if you can check that out with how to set up your Thinkorswim platform and set up indicators, all the indicators that I use. But when it comes to strategy, a lot of the advanced stuff you're not going to find on YouTube, because the market's always changing, and the things that worked 1 month are not going to work another month, because once the majority of the market knows how the market trades, that's when the market changes. Because the banks, the big traders, the algorithms that are holding the shares, that are able to buy up most of the float and control the price action, once they see our orders coming through and they know where everyone's buying, all retail is buying, they're using that as exit liquidity, and they're running the stock down, stopping them out and scooping up those shares and then ripping it back up, while everyone else is now FOMOing back in at the highs, and they're taking profits. So in that way, you know, once the majority of traders figure out the pattern that's working for the month or for the week or whatever, it stops working. And so that's why it's hard to post advanced trading stuff, because it's always changing. And what you really need to learn, the most advanced thing to learn, is to learn how to adapt with the markets. Learn how to recognize the new pattern fastest. If you can figure out the new pattern the fastest, you're going to be able to take advantage of the new patterns for a longer period of time. Because what usually happens is we establish a new pattern in the market, and then every day that passes by, more and more people recognize the pattern. More and more people recognize the pattern. More and more people recognize the pattern. Once most of the people recognize the pattern, let's say it takes a week, it takes 2 weeks or 3 weeks for most of the people to catch on, then it changes. Then it changes again to a new pattern. A new pattern is established. And then, you know, if you can figure that out the fastest, if you can figure that out on day 1, day 2, the new pattern, you can take advantage of that for the longest period of time and be able to profit. So that's the advanced stuff. That's the real advanced stuff that you need to learn. And it's hard to learn that if you're not a part of a community. So, you know, shameless plug, I definitely recommend, if I were to start over on day 1, I would absolutely join MMU, since I wanted to be a scalper. But at the time when I was learning, there was no MMU. There was no MMU. I bought Tim Sykes. Tim Sykes was, honestly, it got me the basics. It didn't give me advanced knowledge. It did not give me advanced knowledge. It was basics, stuff that you can figure out online for free. just kind of in a classroom or a course setting or a course structure, which was helpful in a way. It really shortened the time for me to learn the basics. Then I joined Ross Cameron because I knew, I was like, oh man, I really like the scalping strategy. I can control my risk a lot better. I don't like holding. And that's where I started to learn the advanced stuff, was through Ross Cameron. I really learned a lot through him after buying his course for a bit of time. So yeah, and I think today, I think MMU is probably, from what I see and can compare with other people who have courses, I think MMU has, I feels like I'm seeing new profitable traders every month. Feels like every month there's a group of new profitable traders that are being created in the chat room, being created through the course. So if I were to do it again, I would definitely have joined MMU. But yeah, another thing I would do different as far as startup capital, I would stick to cash account trading with $1,000. I would fund my account with $1,000 and I would trade one share until I was profitable. And then I would slowly deposit money into the account while I'm working a day job, while I'm working 2 jobs. I could work 2 jobs. I would work my ass off to fund that account to 25K. So I would start with 1,000, trading 1 share at a time, 2 shares at a time to get consistency. Once I got consistency, meanwhile, while I'm learning and doing all that stuff, I'm hustling, I'm working, I'm 2 jobs, working as much as I can to try to get to that 25K in savings. Jesus. Because once you get to that 25K and once you're profitable, then that's where you can start making some good money, because you have the settlement margin. The settlement margin is important because with settlement margin after 25K, you can trade up to your account balance every trade. So you can take $25,000 positions back to back to back to back. You don't gotta wait for the money to settle. So getting to that point is tough. But if I were to do it again, I would not recommend borrowing money from anyone, because I don't like having to owe people money or being in debt from somebody and having their money in my hands with that type of risk. When I started, I did borrow from a family member, but I paid them back like within 6 months with interest. I paid them back within 6 months with interest. And that helped me be able to take a little bit bigger position size, because I needed like an extra, I think it was like a 12,000. Like I was 12,000 short to 25K. So what I did was I borrowed from a family member, and I wouldn't recommend doing it, because if you do lose that money, it can really affect your relationships with friends or family, whoever you're borrowing from. And yeah, I just wouldn't recommend it. If I were to go back, I really, when I borrowed the money, I wanted to get rid of that money as fast as possible. I was working overtime, working as much as possible, trying to make that 25K on my own. And as I was depositing my own money in that account, I was ready to pay him back as soon as possible with interest. I didn't want to hold that money any longer than I needed to. But it did help me get over that 25K, because I was 12K short, and I was able to make some more money trading because of that settlement margin. Meanwhile, I was also working a day job to help fund that account on my own, so I can pay him back faster. But yeah, I would recommend just funding it with your own money. It's a lot better, less risky with relationships, and as well, it's more meaningful. It's your money. It's your hard work. It's going to be more important to you that you are successful if you're trading your own money, because that's your own hard work that you're putting at risk now. Maybe for some people it's a little bit easier to kind of take riskier bets if it's not their own money. So yeah, in a way it's kind of better to fund your own account. And yeah. Oh great, we have another guy coming over here to try to fucking clean my shoes. Hello, no thank you. No.
No, that's a Thai
No,
new.
no. It's okay. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye. Okay, anyways, yeah, those are the things that I would do differently. And yeah, I would really make an effort. I would really make an effort to be active in a community, being a serious student. You know, taking it seriously, not fooling around in chat rooms, not posting memes in chat rooms and fucking around. I would be serious. I would ask people questions. I would be DMing all the profitable traders, asking them questions. If you're in MMU, I would be attending every single coaching call. I would be active in those coaching calls, sharing your screen, sharing your live trades. What I do is I do those live coaching calls Monday and Thursdays at 8 p.m. for the MMU students. So Mondays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern time, by the way. And if you're not already enrolled in that or not joining us with that, you should, because what we do is we analyze the market for the week and we take turns sharing our screens and going through trades, going through live trades, giving each other feedback. And there's been a few guys in those coaching calls that have really improved to the point where they're now consistently profitable. I've seen people in those coaching calls that gone from not making money or losing money or break-even trading to now profitable trading. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that aren't taking advantage of that. They're either not joining the calls or they're joining the calls and they're just kind of chilling in the background, kind of listening in. They're not really engaging. They're not asking too many questions and they're not sharing their screen. So they're really losing a lot of value. But yeah, if I was starting, I would be DMing all the profitable traders, asking them questions, joining every single coaching call, every single Q&A, really putting in the time. I would be reviewing my film, recording my screen, and reviewing my trades, tracking my trades, tracking my metrics. Those are all the things that I would be doing on day one to become a profitable trader. Some of those things I did, some of those things I could have done better, but after enough time and effort, I did make it to profitable trading. And those are some of the things that I could give you advice on if I was starting on day one. So thanks for watching. Check out the links in the description. Check out my travel channel. The link of that will be in the description as well. And I will see you guys later. All right, peace.